Here we are again.
How's it going?
How's your work coming along?
It's going pretty well. This is a very nicely stained pole.
Yeah,
So
looking nice.
yeah.
And we're making progress here too. Got the cowling back around the steering wheel here. That's no easy chore. So here's our stereos on the bench. Here's the old one. And here is the new one. And you can see there's quite a height difference. So it came out of a space this tall, and we got only a space this tall. And so that's what this thing is for, this little adapter here. The stereo just slides in here. Like that. And now you have something that fills that same space. Plus you got a handy, we've always found that to be a handy little cubby down there. I have also put in a pair of these struts right here. They were, when they get weak, the trunk was very heavy and hard to put up, and wanted to, if it came to about here, it wanted to just slam shut, drop. But now you can lift it with a finger. There it goes on its own. All right. Well, let's take a look at this before we put it back together. I have to say, usually this is pretty straightforward install. This one gave us a little bit of trouble. What I found in the end is that it didn't seem to have a full 12 volts on the switched circuit. So there's basically two 12-volt leads coming to it. One's on all the time that helps keep the memory, and the other one goes on and off with the key. And so I had to pick up another 12-volt source. And you can see when I switch the key, it starts up. And we get radio going. I'll turn that down so I don't get a copyright deal. So anyway, yeah, I had to go over the fuse box is over in the corner there behind the door, in between the door and the dash. Pick up a switch 12 volts and run an extra wire over here. But we got it done late last night. So Terry was down helping me out, bless her heart. Well, welcome back to the Farm Report, where we're doing a house call edition of the Redneck Mechanic, or in this case, the Redneck Electrician, which I do not yet have my YouTube certification for. But as you can see, we are at our church, where we attend church. And what we're doing today is I'm beginning to install a video streaming system here. So what we'll be doing is putting a camera somewhere above that doorway. Another one, in the kind of close to this would be the center, that clock. So a little bit left to center and over that exit sign. And then another one over this double door over here. Maybe a little bit to the side towards that stained glass window up on the walls. And what we're doing today is running wire for that. And this is my absolutely essential assistant who's feeding wire to me. And there's our first wire coming through. It's coming through from a little at a time, starting in the cry room. And where we'll actually be ending up is next door. The workstation's going to go next door in the confessional, big confessional. And Father said he could give up a portion of that for a desk rather than giving up the cry room. And so you can see we're just beginning to string wires. And on this run, we're going to that far end of the church. So I still have some ceiling panels to pull down. we will come all this way and ultimately go over that doorway, which is the sacristy, and then we will go over this drop ceiling. One of my cables will drop here to pick up audio. This is the main audio panel back here, and then two others will go through the wall, and the camera will be mounted up there on the wall, ish over the door, right about in this neighborhood. So that's what we got going, and this could be a summer-long project, so we'll keep you updated. Well, welcome back to the Redneck Garage. Seems like we've been hanging out here an awful lot here lately, but here in Western Oregon, I know for those of you across the United States that are watching, you're going to say, oh, really? But it's like the 23rd of June today, and the weather is starting to get warm this week. We've had a couple days in the 80s. Yeah, I know everybody's going, what? Everybody that doesn't live in Oregon anyway. And our 03 Buick has been a little wimpy on the air conditioner, which I don't understand. But, you know, air conditioner systems do get low on refrigerant, and so I did work with the refrigerant, added some refrigerant to it. Still seems to be cold. And I was doing a little research online, and one of the suggestions was to check the cabin air filter. Now on our rig, the cabin air filter, this little trim piece lives up there, and I took that off, and underneath it is the cabin air filter. And let me show you what I found under the cabin air filter. There's the filter there, but do you see what's on top of there? I'm guessing that looks like, get in there, see if I can see, barely. But to me, that looks like some sort of critter nest is in there, blocking up the cabin air filter. So let me clear that out and see what happens. Okay, we're ready to go with our mini shop vac. I don't think I want to pull the filter out of there and risk some of that falling in. So let's get started and see what happens. But this is what the air filter looks like. A little on the dirty side, you can tell, but you can see through still. I did blow it out with the air compressor. And this is what, about 10 times that much is what was sitting on the thing. It was almost completely covered. Well, to satisfy your curiosity, that did not solve the air conditioning problem. Cleaning out that cabin air filter on the 03, but it did solve a problem I didn't know I had, which, you know, who wants their cabin air filter gunked up with mouse stuff? We got a little bit of cherry harvest going on today. The cherry tree is not terribly productive this year, and it's looking kind of sick. Like there's well, a good part of it here, this branch over here, looks like it's died off. But there are a few, and we'll at least have maybe not a bucket full, but we'll have a bowl of cherries. Well, happy anniversary. We're on the Buena Vista Ferry, just crossing the Willamette River here at Buena Vista. We just left the dock and off we go. We've never done this before. pedestrians right across free. We were gonna put the car on here, but we thought, well, we're not really going that way. We'd just be riding right back. So this is a lot more fun. Nice weather today. 41 years. 41st anniversary. Happy anniversary.
You too.
Got one waiting on the other side. We are in Falls City, Oregon, just above the falls of Falls City Falls. Well, we've driven up the valley from Falls City a bit, and we thought there was a county park along the way, but we haven't found it yet. In fact, we're thinking, we're here at a crossroads, that maybe we took a wrong left turn, because it looks like we've arrived in Socialist Valley.
Cheers.
Cheers.
He's got a glass, I got the bottle.
That's right. I got this much, she's got that much. And this is our fine wine experience here on the Lucky Mute River above Falls City Falls. We did stop short of Socialist Valley, so no socialism today, but
Turned around and came back.
but we do have Dollar General wine. Good stuff. In fact, should we let's do the sniff test here. Oops, we gotta pop that cork. It's a twist cork. Ooh, do a little swirl.
No, you
Spring
do it in a
Creek
glass.
Sweet Red. Oh, you got to swirl in the glass here. There we go. Cheers to another 41 years. I hope it's another 41 years with you.
Okay,
All right.
I'm in.
You're in, I'm in. This is our eatery for the night. Terry's checking out the menu. We are in Independence, Oregon, by the way, at the Territory Restaurant on the river. We're taking a short walk down the river, and where we had dinner was just about right over there, just up the hill from that. We are up here on the rooftop of our hotel, where there's a little rooftop event space, dining room, which is not currently in use, but we're able to use it. Looking out over Independence and the river. This is the balcony of our room. We actually thought online when we signed up for this room that it was on the riverside, but it's on the opposite side. So the gal at the desk said since we went through Expedia that they couldn't change it from there. Gosh darn. Even though they had one of these available over there. So I guess we're just stuck with it. We might be kind of careful about how much we're using Expedia in the future. We probably should just call direct. When it matters what room you get, maybe you gotta call direct. But I guess this is nice. It's the city view. And maybe there'll be a sunset. All over town you can see preparations happening for the 4th. I guess in a town called Independence, you probably do the 4th up pretty big. Well, after our all too brief anniversary celebration getaway, it's back to farming. And in this case, we're in the vineyard. And it's the 2nd of July, and this is what it looks like between the rows. Try walking down there. So I got my trusty hedge trimmer, and I've just been up and down this row. And that's what it's going to look like. It'll probably need to be trimmed like that again 2 or 3 times before the grapes come in. Now, while we're at it, you can see that there are an awful lot of baby grapes there. They are coming right along. Tons and tons and tons of them. So we'll see how that do. I probably should thin those out a little bit and let them get bigger, but I'm never good at going and picking off, thinning out crops. Well, I know that a way more careful vine tender would probably go out there, as I have in years past, individually prune each one of those branches, but time's getting short this year, and I think this works just about as well. I come out from the center line about 12 or 15 inches and just run down there with the hedge trimmer, and if we take out a little bit of the fruit on the way, most of it's in between those lines, so if I take out a little bit, we'll just consider that thinning. So honestly don't know what we're going to do with this year's grapes. We still have tons of grape juice downstairs, and now we have about 23 or 24 gallons of wine down there that I'm starting to nip away at, but there's only so fast I go on that, to be honest. And so those of you that watch this farm report, I would encourage you to get out here and help with the produce. Either come out and help polish off some of that grape juice or some of the fermented grape juice. So look at them come.